Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. As you can tell by the title of today's video, I want to talk about some of my favourite perfumes and fragrances, and just talk a little bit about the perfumes and the fragrances that I really like and that I would recommend. So I have the majority of them here that I'm going to talk about. In terms of the fragrances that I like, I tend to gravitate towards very sweet sort of fragrances. I like very foodie fragrances, sweet, vanilla, those kind of fragrances. Those are the fragrances that I tend to gravitate towards. There also isn't going to be any particular order to this. I'm just going to talk about fragrances, most of which I do have, and then 3 of which I'm going to talk about that I don't actually have, so I'll probably start with them. So the first fragrance that I really like is the Juicy Couture Viva La Juicy. If you like that fragrance, there is also a dupe of that fragrance by Zara, and it is the Pink Flambe. I will insert a picture of both the Juicy Couture one and then the Zara dupe. I have smelt both, I have used both. They are really comparable. Most of them are affordable because that's typically what I gravitate towards. I'm also very liberal with my perfumes in general. So if I buy an expensive perfume, because I am liberal with it, that's not going to probably be the best move financially for me to do. The second 2 fragrances and the other 2 fragrances that I don't have to hand are by a brand called Noted Aromas. Noted Aromas is a really great brand. They do vegan perfumes and their fragrances are cruelty free. They do replica perfumes, so their perfumes are really similar to more high-end, more expensive perfumes. The 2 that I particularly like, the first one is called Tokyo. I just really like Tokyo because it smells like frangipane and marzipan, and it smells like cherry, and it smells very foodie. So I like that. It's quite a unique scent. So some people don't like it. I personally like it because it is unique, so I really like that one. The second one I like is Marseille. That also smells amazing. That one apparently is really similar to some of the Chanel perfumes. Do not ask me which Chanel perfume it is similar to. I do not have a clue. I just really like that scent. That scent is a lot more subtle. It's not as in your face as Tokyo, but it's still a really nice fragrance. I would say it leans towards being more neutral, a tiny bit sweet, but it's quite a nice, inoffensive scent, quite a nice everyday scent. So they're the fragrances I don't have. The ones I do have are in here. There is a mixture of perfumes and body mists within this. I don't personally have a preference, so what we will do is we will start off with the body mists. I have 4 that I want to talk about, so we will start with them. So the first one we have is this one. This one is by Lidl. I think I've shown this one before in a previous video, but it is the pistachio and salted caramel, and this is a hair and body perfume mist. I just used this as a body mist, but this is what it looks like. This retails for, I believe it is £3.99 from Lidl. If you have the Lidl Plus app, sometimes you can get it on offer. This is meant to be a replica for the Sol de Janeiro spray. I have smelt the Sol de Janeiro spray. I wouldn't say this is really similar. This is more subtle. It smells nice. You can smell the salted caramel in this a lot more than you can with the pistachio, but this is really nice and it's super affordable, which we like. This tends to last, I would say, 3 to 4 hours on me. It's not the sweetest out of all my scents that I gravitate towards, but it definitely does have that salted caramel hint to it. The next one is by Superdrug, and it is by the Mine Fragrance Mist, and this is number 86, Sweet Vanilla. Looks like this, and as the name would suggest, this just smells like this. Fragrance is really great for layering, so if you have another perfume or another body mist that also has vanilla, which I will talk about one in a minute, one of my perfumes that does have vanilla, then this layers really well with that. So I like that one. Then the third one, again, this is by Superdrug. This is the Mar-E Sol, and this is the Caramel, Macadamia and Vanilla Body Mist. Looks like this. Again, this is trying to replica and imitate Sol de Janeiro. This one smells amazing. This is a little bit more expensive. This is £12.99, which I think is quite expensive. This one lasts the least amount of time on me. Now if I spray this, I can smell this in the room for hours, but in terms of how long this actually lasts on the skin, on me personally, this lasts maybe 1 to 2 hours. If that, everybody's body chemistry and fragrance composition and all of these things do play a role within that, but this doesn't last long on me. This smells absolutely beautiful. If you like sweet scents, you would probably love this. And when I say sweet scents, I mean very cakey, not so much very sugary, but very rich, very vanilla, very sweet. Then the last body mist I have that I want to talk about is by the brand Give Me Cosmetics, and this is the Caramel Vacay body spray, and going off the name, this smells like caramel. This one lasts really well. I have sprayed this before on my clothes and gone to them the next day and it still smells like this. Out of these two, this is sweeter, but this is a lot lighter of a scent. This scent is a lot heavier but more caramelly, if that makes sense. And this particular scent lingers a lot longer. It's not as sweet as the other scents, but again, great for layering, or if you just want something caramelly that maybe has a depth or a richness to it. So they are the 4 body mists that I would recommend. In terms of perfumes, I have them here that I'm going to talk about. The first one I have is the sweetest out of all of them. This is Katy Perry Meow. Looks like this. This isn't always super accessible, so I had to get mine off Amazon. I think you can get them off Superdrug Marketplace, but I got mine off Amazon. Really cute cat packaging, and this smells like pure bubblegum. This is really similar, in my opinion, to Lush's Snow Fairy. So if you like Lush's Snow Fairy, you may like this. It is incredibly sweet. It is an incredibly young scent, but I absolutely love it. This used to last a really long time on my skin. I don't know if it's because I've repurchased it and maybe this one isn't as potent perhaps, but this doesn't last as long. This lasts maybe 2 to 3 hours, but it smells amazing. It smells like pure sweets and sugar. If you like sweet fragrances, I would highly recommend this. I do sometimes have to be careful with this because it is so sweet that sometimes it can almost be headache inducing, but I still really like it. Next fragrance, and this is a body mist, but I think that this one smells so strong that you could get away with using this as a perfume, and it is the Body Shop Vanilla. Looks like this, and this smells like a very sweet powdery vanilla. I like to layer these two together. I think that works really well. This has a level of sweetness that this one doesn't. This does smell sweet, but this is more powdery. This one's more similar to baby powder mixed with vanilla. I probably prefer this one over this one, but they layer really well together. Then the next perfume that I have nearly ran out of is the Vera Wang Princess. This is probably the least sweet out of all the fragrances, but this, I would say, universally out of all the fragrances, is probably the fragrance that most people would like. Now, this does have sweetness to it, but it's quite a nice, almost neutral scent. This one isn't overly sweet and it's a really nice fragrance in general. Look online for this because I have seen some websites selling this for £60. If you look around, you can get this for around £20. That's how much I tend to pay for this. This lasts the longest on my skin and on my clothes. Again, I can spray this and then the next day I can still smell this on my clothes, so lasting power, this one is probably the best. Then the last perfume, and very similar to the Noted Aromas Tokyo in terms of a scent composition, we have this one, which is the Sabrina Carpenter Cherry Baby. It looks like this, meant to be inspired by chocolate bar, and as the name would suggest, this one smells like cherry. So in terms of this scent I would say is more unique in that it does smell of cherry, but it smells of quite a rich sort of berry. I would say this would be more suited for autumn and winter because it has that richness in a way that maybe some of the other perfumes don't. I quite like this. I know some people don't like this, which is fine. I would say this is more of a mature fragrance actually because it's not overly sweet, but it definitely has that red berry to it, which I quite like. And I think it is quite a distinctive scent, which I'm a fan of. They were all of the fragrances and the perfumes that I wanted to talk about today and share a little bit of information about. If you have any perfume or fragrance recommendations for me, please do let me know. These are the ones I would recommend right now. Of course, things can change. I end up revisiting this video in a couple of years and have completely different fragrance recommendations. These are the fragrances that I like and have repurchased, and if I am ever wearing a fragrance or a perfume or a body mist, it will be one of these ones that I am wearing and that I would recommend. I think most of these are cruelty free. I'm not sure about vegan. I know the Body Shop is cruelty free. I know that Superdrug is cruelty free, and I think the Lidl one is cruelty free also, and I think the Give Me Cosmetic one is also cruelty free. So the only ones I'm not sure about are the Vera Wang one, the Katy Perry one, the Sabrina Carpenter one, and then the Viva La Juicy one. I'm not sure if they're cruelty free, but I believe the other ones are. But if you're not sure, double check, because I could be wrong. So that was everything. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video, and I will speak to you all in my next video. Let me know if you have tried out any of these fragrances and what you think. Equally, if there are any fragrances you think that I would like, please do let me know, and I'll speak to you all in my next video. So until then, goodbye guys.